What's up, everybody? This is Empress 555. Thank you so much for joining. All right, so we're going to do a message based on a breakup scenario. Okay, so make sure you like, share, and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I go live. And for other messages or readings like this, leave a comment to let me know how it resonates. Okay, all right, so let's get into it. This is a story of a situation where there was a young lady who was dating a man for about 2.5 years. She lived with this guy. She loved him. She did everything that she could to try to maintain the relationship. She even tried to go out of her way to become someone that she wasn't in order to hopefully come to an agreement with him. But the difference is she knew that she was going against her better judgment, meaning she knew that this guy was not really for her. He was not as ambitious. He was not as goal oriented. He was not a protector. He was not a provider. In fact, he was looking for protection and provision. Okay. So the thing about it is, this person had to go through a transformation. This lady had to recognize her worth. She had to see that she was worthy of being protected. She was worthy of being honored, being cared for. So, because of her history, because of her past and all of that, she felt like she had to try to rescue this guy. I know a lot of you can relate to, whether male or female, where you've probably tried to rescue someone. Okay. So she, within those 2.5 years that she was with him, she spent a lot of time pouring into him, building him, guiding him. He worked at a local restaurant, which is nothing wrong with that, but he didn't have any long-term goals of maybe becoming a manager or running his own store one day. He was satisfied in whatever he was doing. He liked to hang out with his friends. He was just basically getting by in life. So she poured a lot into him. She encouraged him to go back to school, something he hadn't even thought about. She paid money for him to go to school. And she was thinking that, okay, I'm doing all this. He's going to see how much I love him. He's going to give some of this energy back to me once he becomes successful, right? So he proceeded on. He went through the course. He did everything that he was supposed to do, and he passed. And both of them were thrilled. He was happy because he accomplished something he never thought he could, and she was happy because she helped him accomplish. Little did she know that as soon as she built him up, he was going to transform and be something different by his choice. Or maybe, like I said, that version of him that needed her had elevated. So therefore, he didn't feel like he needed her anymore. But the thing that he forgot is that his energy that he had during the time where she was helping him to build was influenced by her energy. So ultimately, since he didn't have that ability on his own to build himself, he was feeding off her energy. I know you've heard of energy vampires, right? But she voluntarily gave her energy to him, and he fed off of it. And once he was satisfied, look at what he did. He took his success, he took his achievement, his accomplishment, and he left. He literally told her, I have a leg to stand on now. I don't need you like that. And it shocked her. It shocked her. She was blown away because she had poured so much into him. She never saw that he would just up and take what he had accomplished and leave and go pursue another woman. Heartbroken, crushed. Okay. So here she was. She had to rebuild herself. She had to redeem herself. She had to figure out what's what. A lot of times, she felt lost because she had poured so much into his cup that she depleted herself. So a lot of times when we're in relationships and we put so much into that relationship or to that person, and you feel really sad and hollow and empty inside, it's because you have given so much of yourself to that person or to that connection that you forgot yourself, right? You forgot to feed you. You forgot to pour into you. So when you forget yourself, you deplete yourself of all those good things. You don't feed yourself. You don't give yourself that respect like you should. So in the end, when this person is no longer around And usually they leave once they depleted you of your energy, of your time, of your love, of your support, right? So they deplete you of all that. They're ready to go. And here you are hanging in the balance. And so it's painful because once they leave, you're faced with the reality of how much you've given them. So then you have to deal with that emptiness. And that's what hurts so bad. It's like you realize right there, I've given this person everything, and you truly did because you gave them all of you, right? So once he left, once he pursued someone else, she was left with her. She immediately called friends and family, whomever she could talk to at the time. Now, it took her some years to recognize that everybody that you talk to doesn't have your best interest, but we'll get into that later, okay? So she called her family. She received some support. She had friends. She received support from that. And so after a while, after a few weeks, she was in a place of restoring herself, in a place of feeling better, in a place of making improvements, right? Feeling better. She just said, I'm going to focus on me. There were outstanding debts that he left her in. They were supposedly trying to resolve those, but she realized that he wasn't going to pay her back. She realized the type of person that he is. So she decided to just take it as a loss, pay the debt herself so she wouldn't have to have any contact with him. She cut communication with him. She blocked him on social media. She blocked him from her phone and everything. And she decided to focus on her. She was in school. She just put that pain and all of that into her work. So once she put that pain into her work and into her schoolwork, into her job, guess what? She was elevating her vibration just by doing that and taking care of herself. She stopped crying so much. She started realizing that this could have been a blessing in disguise. Okay. Because if somebody can leave you at the drop of a hat, after you have helped them, that's a person that you wouldn't want to go another 2 years with, another 12 years with, So she started seeing things so clear. She started gaining that clarity, right? So in the midst of her gaining clarity, in the midst of her finally getting back to self, guess who wants to come back around? You got it. Okay, so he wants to come back around like most people do because she hasn't been in contact with him. She hasn't been asking him for money to pay towards the debt. So he wants to come back around. He tried to call her number and realized he was blocked, right? So he decided to show up at her residence. She did not go to the door. Okay, there were many times that he tried to see her. She did not see him. He came back because the grass is not greener. He realized that she was really done. And like I told you, once he walked out of that door, he didn't have her with him. He didn't have that energy source that he had been feeding off of, feeding his ego and feeding his will to go forward. He didn't have that anymore. So he had to go off, learn some valuable lessons himself, and he had to build himself up. Okay? He had to build himself. He started having issues with money. He started having issues with his job. And needless to say, he had a condition where she helped him, a health condition. And so, um, you know, that was something that he had to look into. It was just a lot of different things. So once she pulled herself away and he could really see what he was working with, and whomever he was with, he could see what they were working with, and it was nothing was the same. So he wanted to try to pull this person back into his life, his energy source. But she was gone. She was gone already. She was on a whole new vibe. And then she even relocated. So they lost touch. She relocated, and that was a game changer, not only for her, but for him. She got a chance to get away from the toxicity, like in its entirety. Some people are able to move, and some people aren't. But she was able to get away, which she needed a fresh start. She needed to be around family more and people that she could relate to, a new environment, just to change the pace. It was needed. So all that being said, we fast forward a couple of years later, and get this, she's doing even better. She's doing even better than she was. She finished that degree. She got that promotion at work. She started doing other things to fulfill her. She started feeling happy, looking better. She started working on her health and wellness and all of that, posting pictures on social media for her, not for him, but for her. He's making fake accounts because he wants to see what she's up to after 2 years, right? So since he couldn't get up with her, he decided to get his mother to call her. And the mom calls and she's trying to get a roundabout feel for the energy. But this lady was, her vibration was so elevated. The only thing that she could say is that, hey, I'm blessed. You know, I'm blessed. I feel good. I hope you're doing well. She was very pleasant to the mom. Always been pleasant. That's something that the mom really admired, right? So, but the mom was looking for her to ask about her son. This lady was done with that. She knew that if she asked about him, it would put her back in that cycle. So she did not ask about him. She asked about the mom and the dad, but she didn't ask about him. But she wished the family well. So I just say all that to say, everybody, I know it seems like however they did it and whoever did it, it hurt you and it seemed like they got the best of you. But a lot of times these decisions that people make to walk away from you or cause you to have to walk away from them have nothing to do with you. In that time, a lot of people don't even recognize what they're giving up. A lot of people don't even know what they're cashing in. Okay? A lot of people don't see the value until it's no longer around. And if you have helped somebody and they walked away from you, as painful as it is, remember that you were hurting, but you helped a person that needed your help at that given time. And you will be blessed for that. This lady was blessed for how much she helped him. All right. You will be rewarded. The universe, God will reward you for helping somebody that was in need. Okay. But you learned a valuable lesson. There's some people that you just can't help a lot. Okay. There's some people you have to just give them a kind word. You have to give them a little motivation. But there's some people you just cannot go all out of your way for. Even if it's your husband or wife, sometimes you cannot go all out of your way. You can point them in the right direction, but doing the footwork, the legwork for them is probably something you shouldn't do. And this is what this lady learned. Okay? This lady learned that it's okay to give insight. It's okay to put the person in the right direction, but you don't have to go out of your way. You don't have to make it so that you're making it easy for somebody, because if they really want it, they're going to get it. Okay, so that was a valuable lesson for her. And also, she also learned not to forget herself. Okay, and this guy, this gentleman, he learned not to take things for granted. And he also learned that you don't bite the hand that feeds you. If somebody is pouring into you and somebody's doing for you, you don't betray them, because that's a person that cares. But it took for him to be around a person that showed him that they didn't care and that all they wanted was his money, his assets, for him to get it. So both parties learned a valuable lesson. Okay? So I just want to encourage you to let you know that you are not alone in this, to let you know that the mistakes that you have made, others have made them too. Okay, and just keep your head up and keep moving forward. I promise you, you are the one that got away for a lot of people. You may not feel that way. Okay, a lot of times we don't, especially when it seems like they're the ones that got away or they're the ones that benefited from us before we left them. But most times, if you have been the best person you can be, if you have given all that you could, you are usually the one that got away and you're not forgotten. Okay, so please, please, please take this message and really apply it to you. Just think about it. You may not resonate with all of it. Hopefully, this is an experience that you can relate to, and hopefully, it has given you some encouragement and hope. Okay. Thank you so much. There will be other messages like this. I just wanted to start doing messages that I feel like will give you more insight, also more life experience. And this is based on a true story, okay? So make sure you like, share, and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified for messages like this and for other messages and readings. Leave a comment to let me know how it resonates with you. Thank you so much. This is Empress 555. Take care. Bye.